Happy astrological new year. It's Aries season. It's spring. Life is sprouting out of the ground. It's green. The flowers are starting to bloom.
Let's sing a gay little spring song.
It's time to feel that New Year's energy. The wheel of life is starting over anew. We have moved through the 12 astrological houses, each of them with their own themes and rulerships. And now we are starting back again at number 1, the house of self, the house ruled by Aries, a fire cardinal house. The Aries house, the first house, represents the process of being born, the energy and spark that it takes to burst out into the world and start a new life. That takes a lot of intensity and power. The first house in your birth chart is determined by the exact time that you take your first breath, right at that moment when you are born. That's why it is important to know that your time of birth for this kind of like deep astrology chart work, because that determines which sign you have in your first house. And then that changes the house numbers throughout the rest of the chart. So Aries rules the first house, Taurus rules the second house, Gemini rules the third. Should I read the whole thing? You want me to read the whole thing? I'm going to do it. Buckle up. Okay. Aries first, Taurus second, Gemini third, Cancer fourth, Leo fifth house, Virgo sixth, Libra seventh, Scorpio eighth, Sagittarius ninth, Capricorn 10th, Aquarius 11th house, and Pisces 12th house. Also, is this too complicated? Am I getting crazy here? Let's pedal it back.
Hold up.
At this time, it is Mercury retrograde. Is it going to be Mercury retrograde when the new moon is happening? I don't know. I'm doing this a little bit before the new moon. So currently, right now, it's Mercury retrograde. And I think my words are feeling crazy. They're feeling cuckoo crazy right now. So let me just grab a hold of myself. I am choosing a pink and orange and purple color scheme. It matches with the design I've already done for my blog, the artwork that I've done. It's this orange and pink. It feels very bright and like a burst. I tried to make it feel like a burst of energy, which is what Aries represents, that initial spark of life. I am using Ohuhu markers, not water-based, alcohol markers. I really like this like brush end. It feels like so satisfying to use. So I am trying to channel that passionate, fiery Aries energy into this journal spread. For the text, I wanted it to kind of have like an 80s metal vibe. I have curated playlists for each of the 12 signs, and the Aries playlist has a metal vibe. I was trying to channel that like Mars warrior energy, and I've got some like classic 80s metal, and I wanted it to kind of have that vibe. And this is pretty much my go-to like text. This is my favorite text that I do. It's like got a spikiness to it, and I have a lot of fun working with it. And I like to incorporate upside down crosses a lot in it. And I don't know, it's my favorite text that I do. Since it's my favorite, should I start incorporating it into some 9th house stuff, some 9th house branding, maybe some zines? I have been heavy in zine mode lately. I want to make zines for literally everything. So we're going for aggressive warrior vibes, aggressive Aries vibes is kind of what I'm channeling into this design. I feel very connected to Aries because it is my sister sign. I am a Libra and have heavy Libra placement. But my Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, is conjunct my sun. So I feel like I have like a little burst of energy. So I feel really connected to this like Mars energy of Aries. But having Mars in Libra is actually in its detriment. Mars doesn't like to be in Libra because Mars energy is direct and aggressive, and Libra energy is indirect and very passive and tries to balance everything out. Sorry for busting my head in this in the screen. I was not paying attention and didn't realize I was all the way in the frame. So I definitely think it's a challenging aspect to work with. We all have our challenges and our gifts, and I think this is one of the challenges I've been working with a lot lately. I've been trying to embrace that Mars power instead of fighting it.
In order for you to become empowered by the ego, you must climb that cliff.
That Libra energy wants to like extinguish the flame, extinguish the drama, you know? But sometimes instead of extinguishing, I need it to fuel. We need the wind to fuel the fire instead of turning into smoke. Is this making sense? Is that a metaphor or something? So I'm liking the layout of this journal spread. The little devil is kind of funny to me. It's a little dorky, but kind of kitschy and cute. The first journal prompt we have for the new moon in Aries is, in what area of my life am I overthinking things? Aries rules the brain, so one of the ailments that Aries can have issues with is overthinking things. Aries is known to be good in a crisis, to have those survival instincts, to react to something quickly and use it for leadership and to protect themselves or others. But when that energy isn't being channeled properly, it can turn into overthinking.
I'm freaking out, man.
Using those reactions in a negative and self-deprecating way. The second prompt is, how can I let go and take action? So we're identifying where we're overthinking things in the first one, and then in the second one, we're trying to see how it is that we can let go of that overthinking. How can we clear out the noise and just embody that Aries action-oriented energy? And once we are able to let go and embody that energy, where should I channel my fiery passion? That is the third question. Because if I don't have anywhere to channel it, we're just going to cycle right back into that overthinking.
I'm trapped in a thought loop.
where we just can't let go and we can't take action because it's not being channeled properly. So I'm trying to figure out, where should this fiery energy, once I have let it free, where should I put it into? What area of my life should I put it into? Every new moon and full moon pull, I have the questions on the left, and then I add a little arrow and I put my kind of download on the right. So I explain my tarot pull on the left, kind of my study area, and then my interpretation and how it has to do with my life on the right. I am ready to see what the wisdom of Aries season has to teach me. I am ready to let go and take action in my life. It's the start of the new year, so I want to start this cycle different. I want to have a year of growth, so I'm ready to get that spark going. Today I'm going to use my Oliver Hibert psychedelic deck. I love my tarot deck. Maybe I'll link it below. And I am just trying to embody that Aries energy and answer the question of, what area of my life am I overthinking it? And I got the Queen of Swords. This card represents mental clarity and intellectual power, so that's feeling pretty good.
Okay, I can work with that.
The second question I'm trying to answer is, how can I let go of that overthinking and take action? I'm really trying to think about that Mars energy that just jumps right in and doesn't think about it and just does what it needs to do. And I got the Ace of Wands reverse. This represents delays and distractions, so that is making sense. I'm a distracted girly. All of my readings, they always have a little bit about distraction, so yep, checks out. And for the third question, we are answering, where should I channel my fiery passion? And I got the Six of Swords reverse, which represents personal transformation, so that's feeling pretty good. Busting out my trusty, dusty, bitty tarot guidebook. Here's a little ASMR for you. So the first card I got was the Queen of Swords. She sits on a throne with her hand out towards the future, ready to receive any gifts or wisdom, while holding a sword representing her need to seek the truth and to seek knowledge. And I really appreciate this guidebook. I am still feeling like I'm in the learning phase with tarot. I have been doing a steady practice with the moons.
She does witch stuff.
For about 2 years now, but I'm still not feeling quite like I know exactly what each card means, so it really helps to have this book, and she has so many different descriptions. So the basic rundown of this card, she represents boundaries, direct communication, unbiased judgments, truth-seeking, and expectations. And I have really been on a journey of learning how to communicate directly. Like I was saying before, having Mars in Libra, it leads to indirect communication, and that can cause a lot of problems. So I have really been trying to learn how to harness that like direct communication energy and setting boundaries. and being okay with setting expectations. And so the fact that I got this with where am I overthinking it makes so much sense, because right when I set a boundary, right when I communicate directly, I immediately am like flipping back and being like, oh my God, I'm being so mean. I'm being so confrontational.
Everyone hates me and I want to die.
And I start like second guessing myself and not trusting myself. And I feel like that has been a big thing in my life right now. Getting this card is feeling like a reminder that as I step into this new year, I really need to let go of that overthinking and just trust my gut and trust my instincts. When I feel like I need to set a boundary or communicate directly, I need to do it instead of wobbling back and forth. And then once I do it, it's done now. You did it, and now leave it alone. That's where it's at. If no one else needs any clarification and no one's asking you for clarification, you don't need to keep clarifying why you said what you said in your head a million times to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because your girl be overthinking it. But Aries, when you're harnessing adaptive Aries energy, Aries does it and moves on. Later, I did what I did, and now I'm gonna go. The card for question number 2 is the Ace of Wands, a hand holding a wand that has a bunch of little sprouts coming off of it, representing emerging ideas and potential growth. When it's in the reverse position, it can represent delays, uncertainty, lack of confidence, undefined ideas, and distractions. And I feel like getting this card here in the how can I let go and take action position, it represents my need to let go of my uncertainty, let go of my lack of confidence, stop letting myself get distracted, and just step into my power, step into that Mars energy, that Aries energy, and go forth with passion. When I stop overthinking it, when I stop questioning myself, then I can move forward. I can jump in and do what needs to be done instead of thinking of a million different reasons why I should do this or that.
Just do it.
The question, where should I channel my fiery passion? I got the 6 of Swords reversed. This card is represented by a woman and a child on a journey to a new land, with the swords representing the baggage and memories that they still carry with them. In the reverse position, it represents a resistance to change, maybe unfinished business, or needing to let go of old patterns or stuck relationships, and not being able to step into your own power and reaffirm yourself and your own journey and take responsibility for your journey. So in relation to the question, I feel like it is telling me to put my energy into my personal transformation, put my energy into stepping into my own power and affirming myself and releasing those old patterns. For me, this is a journey of self-acceptance and my need to stop overthinking things and to just take action. And when I let go of all of that stuff, when I let go of that pattern of overthinking, my stance on things, my communication style, my boundaries, when I stop overthinking it and just step into my power, then I will be able to move smoothly through the transition, get to that other side. I am feeling really strong and empowered coming out of this reading. Also, I'm really liking the way the page looks with all the colors and the shapes. And I did the elemental symbols to represent the cards, the fire symbol and the air symbols for wands and swords. So I am ready to get started on the art prompt for this Aries new moon, but first I have a gift for you.
Yay!
I love affirmation cards, and for my blog series, my Astro Care Guide blog series, I created an affirmation for each of the 12 signs. And here I put them into a really easy printable PDF file so that you can print them out for yourself and use them throughout the season. You can collage with them like I'm gonna do here. You can use them as gift tags. You can switch them out each season and put one on your mirror. Do whatever you want as long as you're not selling them or anything. All you have to do is sign up for my email newsletter. I have the link below, and you'll get the free PDF guide for you to download. And right now I'm working on a free resource page that will be accessible for all members on my website. It's not up yet, but soon you will have access to not only the affirmation cards, but art prompts and all kinds of other things. So as usual, I have my collage clippings bins out. I have them all separated into different categories, and I am looking for things that shout Aries energy to me, that give me Aries vibes. Aries is ruled by Mars, so I'm looking for like bright reds and vibrant colors, things that make me think of spring, or of that like burst of new energy or passion, or even like aggressive warrior vibes. I'm looking for all those kinds of energies when I flip through my boxes. Aries rules the head, the skull, the brain, the cranial nerves, sinuses, the eyes, and the adrenal glands. I think it's interesting that most everything that Aries rules is in the head, except for the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are what give us that jolt of energy to fight, to protect ourselves, to hunt, to do what we need to do to survive. Aries is so good in a crisis and able to use those instincts to respond. But when we're not in a state of crisis, Aries might try to put themselves in that state so that they can get that burst of energy, because they may feel like if they're not in a state of crisis, then they're just gonna be lazy and they're not getting stuff done. So they may keep themselves in that state of fight or flight in order to feel productive. But because that Aries energy is more of a burst instead of a steady flame, it needs the rest to balance out that large output of energy.
You need to chill.
On my blog, you can find an Aries reset ritual that is curated specifically for the Aries body and Aries energy. Since Aries rules the head, there's things like facials and scalp massages. With Aries being a fire sign, there are contrast showers with cold and hot to balance out that fire. And you can get the whole thing over on ninthhouse.com. After going through all of the things that I picked out from my boxes, I decided on these 3 images from my XXX box. One is a lady putting up a fight. This one that I'm trimming here is a lady that's like stomping in frustration. And then the one below is a lady standing in her confidence and feeling sexy. And the third figure is the twin to the one I'm trimming, and she is standing and putting up a fight.
I oughta sock you one.
So after all that time going through all these patterns and colors of paper, I decided to go with this cardstock. I liked that it was the same color of the markers of the page that I did my journaling on. So, and it feels like starbursty, like sunrise. The prompt is to portray a sunrise or a burst of energy or a rebirth. So I'm trying to represent that rebirth energy here with these colors. And they match really well with the Aries affirmation card. I really want to make sure to incorporate this affirmation in this art piece. I keep thinking about how Aries represents birth, and I think about, you know, how it's also represented by like really intense energy, and it just is making me think about how intense it is to give birth. I don't know, you know, I don't have any memories of what it's like to be birthed. I can imagine that's extremely intense. But I know how it is on the other side and how much power you need to have. I gave birth to both of my daughters without medication in the hospital. I had a midwife in the hospital, but I didn't use any epidural or anything. And that just adrenaline to get the baby out of your damn body is so fucking crazy. Are you kidding me? I was really adamant about feeling that. I didn't want to drug myself and not feel that. Literally no shade to anyone who doesn't want to go through that. If I was gonna have babies again, I would definitely be using drugs. I don't want to do that again. I did it twice, and after the second time, I was like, I'll never, ever do that again because it's so crazy. So that's Aries energy. I think about that, and I'm like, holy crap, that's crazy. That's crazy energy. So at this point, I decided that I think I need to add some of that marker vibe from the previous page to this page, and I almost immediately regret it.
What did I do?
Because I'm all wobbly. I have this piece. My head's in the way again. I have this piece that's right there. I'm like immediately regretting it. I'm like, oh my god, this sucks. And even afterwards, I'm still not very happy with my choice to do this, but I did it, and yeah, we have to live with that. We have to live with our choices. That was my whole reading. You do a thing, and then you live with your choices, and then you just move on and stop overthinking it. Oh my god, it's all coming together. So I wanted this lady who is looking sexy and confident and in her power and in her feminine energy. I wanted her to look like she was being rebirthed, that pow, that bam, look at me, baby, here I am, and I am not ashamed. And I feel like there it is. And I like that the colors go together with the journal page. I'm liking the way this is coming together. I really liked the negative part of the Starburst cutout being utilized here to kind of balance out those shapes, those like spiky triangular shapes. I'm liking it so far. I was feeling like it needed some sort of, I don't know, backdrop or framing for these two characters that I'm going to put in the corners. I want them to kind of be like, I don't know, her devil and angel.
He's trying to lead you down the path of righteousness. I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks.
But neither of them are devil or angel. But you know what I mean, just like these two energies kind of fighting inside of her. So I'm liking the layout so far. I think I'll be able to put the affirmation up here in the corner, but I definitely think it needs something else. Yeah, it's feeling empty. What should I do? These are cute. I like them here, but I definitely need to fill it in with something. After digging around a little bit, I found this fine paper that I thought the colors match pretty well. I like the way it looks, and I kind of cut out this shape and I'm going to arrange it around the page. As I do this, I am also thinking about the impatience aspect that Aries is known for. Aries is known to have an impatience. They just want to jump in and get started.
Don't care how, I want it now.
And I definitely have impatience. I have a million gajillion ideas that I want to work on, and I sometimes don't let myself have the patience to complete them. And I think that's also that distracted energy. I need to let go of that distraction and that impatience. And I just need to sit and take my time and stop worrying about the future and just focus on the task at hand. All of my readings lately are related to letting go of overthinking and just wallowing in the past. And I just really... I really want to move on from this cycle. I'm okay, I'm impatiently ready to just integrate the wisdom from these teachings and move on. Because I feel like overthinking these things and these situations are holding me back from letting in new things in my life, new experiences. So I am ready to let go of that cycle of overthinking and just connect with the present. So after staring at it for quite a while, I was like, there needs to be something connecting all of these parts. They feel too disconnected.
Something's not right here.
So I came up with these purple lightning bolts. I thought it was a cute way to incorporate that purple that's in the artwork that I've done that's on my blog, that I used in the journal spread page, and in this affirmation card. So it's really tying that like color scheme together, which I'm happy with. So I have these two images of the same woman kind of representing two different areas in my life. And one of them is standing up and fighting and protecting herself. And then the other one is like overthinking and like stressed and frustrated and feeling like she has no control over anything.
What the hell is going on?
I wanted the one who is feeling in her power and feeling strong and protecting her boundaries and standing up for what she believes in. I wanted her energy to be powering that confident woman that is standing atop, and the lightning bolt that is coming from the one that's having anxiety and stress and overthinking things. She's grabbing her head and stomping because she's just like so overwhelmed with the stress of, I don't know, setting boundaries. You know, she's like, this sucks. Her energy is thinner. If you can see, her bolt is weaker and it's shorter and it's not reaching the whole woman at the top. It no longer has power over her anymore. It's no longer like siphoning her energy, and she is feeling reborn and powerful. This feels like such a good way to start the new astrological year and to reaffirm the choices that I've made and the person I'm becoming, and remembering to be proud of that and to be confident. And when I'm able to let go of all of that stress and worried about being confident, about stepping into my power, and if I can just stop thinking about it and just do it, just step into my power, then things are going to change rapidly. And even if it's just spiritually, I think I'm going to experience a lot of growth, and I'm already feeling that clarity. And I kind of have been working with this a while, you know, and I had this idea of like a shelf or like an archive, and it's like, stop the things that I don't need to think about anymore, you know, like situations that are already done, they are no longer being discussed.
There's nothing else I can do.
They are done deals. Just put that on the archive shelf. I don't need to keep revisiting that book. I don't need to keep revisiting that story. It's a done deal. It's there. Or maybe there's still space to write in that story later, but right now it's archived. It's inactive, and I don't need to focus on that right now. I need to focus on the things that are active and right in front of me. So I'm just really happy to be feeling that clarity and that reassurance as we start our new year with Aries in spring. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this art spread came out. I really like the color combination. I like that I was able to incorporate the affirmation card. The symbolism is really important to me and feels really powerful. I really feel like this speaks to me and gives me confidence. Yeah, I want to sit here and critique it and overthink it, but and I feel like I'm supposed to, but I'm not going to. I'm happy and it's done, and I'm just gonna move on. Just like I read here in this tarot spread, I did what I did, and now it's time to move on. I'm happy with it, and I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of myself for just completing it. So I hope you join me next month for the Taurus new moon. See you later.